Hello race fans and welcome to South Boston Speedway. We are live here for the Victory Lane Outlaws Cars Series. It'll be 125 laps coming our way. Looking at the rules here, we've got 50% fuel, 3 additional tire sets, 1 fast repair if needed. Of course, I'm Liam Irving up in the booth making a goofy face over there just for you guys. Here at South Boston. 76 degree track temp, 73 degree air temp. Gonna be a cool one here tonight. Just about everybody ready to get the grid rolling here. We'll go ahead and give it to you. Steve, I'm sorry, we'll redo that there. Stephen Hassett on the pole once again with Brad Hubbard to his outside. Austin Hobart, last week's winner, and Josh Duncan to his outside. Row number 3 sees Chase Bullard and Dylan Large, followed by Austin Smith and Daniel Rubino. Cody Brewer and Ron Milam are going to make up the final row here in South Boston. Super excited to bring you guys this incredible action. South Boston, one of the most fun short tracks. It's incredibly short, 0.37 miles. Just over a third of a mile here in South Boston, Virginia. Stephen Hassett started on the pole last week, led the first 68 laps, got passed by Austin Hobart in the 74. He led the final 32. He's going to try to hold on for 125 at a shorter track. Last week we were seeing 20-second laps. This week we're going to be seeing 15-second laps. Green flag is in the air and we are racing here in South Boston. Stephen Hassett gets away. They're side by side here for a second. A little bit of wall contact there for Brad Hubbard. He's got Austin Hobart down to his inside, almost looking 3 wide, is at 77 in the middle. Back of the field, here comes Milam down to the inside, trying to make a move on car 044, Daniel Rubino. Up front, still Hassett, trying to get himself a little bit of a gap so he can manage his tires, but here comes 74, Austin Hobart, trying to close in behind him. First lap of the race, or fastest lap of the race on lap number 2 goes to Stephen Hassett. He's the first one to get a proper purple time. We'll see if lap number 3 is going to change anything. Coming up off of turn number 4 across the line. That time by dead even for your top 2. 15-10s across the board. Technically, it's going to go to Hobart. He might have been a couple 1,000ths quicker. Right now, Josh Duncan currently trying to hold on to 3rd place as Chase Bullard sits in 4th just behind him. Try to ring that inside lane. Try to just touch enough of that paint as to where he can get that thing gripped up. He's getting sideways on entry. Big time sideways moment there for the 54 of Chase Bullard. He's going to slide up. Austin Smith completes that pass. And now car number 26, that WeatherTech machine of Dylan Large, going to try to follow him through. Cody Brewer all over the back bumper of that number 26 machine. Oh, and sideways goes the 26 around off of turn number 4. That's going to bring the caution out for the first time this season. Last week, a caution-free race from Myrtle Beach. And now the first time we are going to see the yellow flag here in the Victory Lane Outlaws Cars Series. Congratulations, drivers. We made it 107 laps on short track racing. Unfortunately, Dylan Large looks to be going a lap down because he could not get that thing righted in time. Didn't really have the space. That's the tough part about short track racing, is that things happen in a hurry. If you go around, you don't have much time to get back on the track in front of traffic. Well, let's take a look, see what happened here with Dylan Large. We were watching it. Take a look from high above. Enters in a little bit wide. Kind of sideways there. He's sideways from the middle of the corner on, and just that little bit of wall nudge sends it all the way around, brings out the caution. So Stephen Hassett leads us behind the pace car. So while we're under our first caution of the season, feels like a good time to let you guys know you can look in the video description for all of our affiliate links, talking about AI Chief, talking about AdminBoxx, Simpson Racing Equipment, Premier Setups. All four are things that are going to, immersify your sim racing experience. It's tools to help you get a little bit better and to make it a little bit more fun for you. Whatever you're looking for, got you covered here. Getting ready for the restart here. Stephen Hassett is going to have Austin Hobart to his outside, Josh Duncan, Austin Smith, and Chase Bullard in the top 5. Cody Brewer, Ron Malam, Daniel Rubino, Brad Hubbard, and then Dylan Large rounding out the field here, one lap down at the tail end of it. Pace car makes that hard left turn, green flag back in the air, and look at those flash bulbs in the stands. I love to see it. Green flag is out, side by side. Here comes Chase Bullard, try to get that position back from Austin Smith. Remember, the 54 got sideways a little bit earlier on in the show. Now these guys are getting sideways as they put the power back down. Remember, these guys can't go all the way on fuel. We're going to see at least one pit stop, but obviously that caution flag just a little bit too soon to be thinking about making that pit stop here. Coming up off of turn number 4 for the second green flag lap of this run. Stephen Hassett out to about a car length. He pulls away just a touch on corner exit. But Josh Duncan, he's somebody I want to keep an eye on here. He's been able to put down some pretty fast lap times. Looking at 15:11 as his fastest of the race. That's only 2 100ths off of what Stephen Hassett, your race leader, was his fastest lap of 15:09. Go ahead and take a look up on the top and see a little bit of a moment there up front. Looked like Stephen got a little bit loose. $109 laps to go here, and up the racetrack goes that number 8. Could we be seeing tire wear play a factor already? 15:06 for Austin Hobart is now his fastest lap, as 15:12 was the last lap around. Things happen in a hurry here. 15-second laps in a third mile. Some would say high-banked track, but you know, when you race at a track like Bristol, this looks like nothing. See the 8 of Hassett try to get down on the apron, try to find a little bit of extra grip down underneath that paint. You can see that work at some short tracks. Other ones, it can really upset the car, but I feel like it depends on how you set your car up for a race. Obviously, this being the South Boston fixed setup, everybody could potentially have that advantage. Well, he's got a face on the front of his car. Hobart does. And I would imagine in the rearview mirror that might not be the most pleasant thing to see, is a face getting closer and closer when you're expecting, you know, a race car. Stephen Hassett in the Vice Esports machine leading this race, and you can see just what kind of pressure Hobart's putting on him from this angle. Little separation back to the garage beer machine of Josh Duncan. He's got Bullard just behind him. Austin Smith. Then a little bit further back to Cody Brewer. Daniel Rubino, Brad Hubbard, and Ron Malam. Dylan Large still at the tail end of this field, hoping to get a free pass or something if a caution were to come out again. You never know here in short tracks. I mean, this is going to be a tough track to make a green flag pit stop on. And if you get sideways and get back up the racetrack, that could definitely throw a wrench in your plans of winning this race. These top two last week, they led every lap out of 100. 68 for that 8 machine and 32 for the 74. Now he's looking down to the inside. Hobart is all the way down on the apron. He's going to get a little bit squirrely down there, and that allows the 8 to hold on, keep that thing gripped up top. Holds out of the position. 99 laps to go. Going to be 98 when they cross the start-finish line. Things happen in a hurry here. I mean, this race has only been live for 10 minutes. We're already 27 laps down. Going to be 28 this time. We're seeing this battle for the lead heat up once again. Big run for the 74 off of turn 4. He dives it in as deep as he possibly can, trying to stay as clean as possible. Just can't get the power down on the inside. He's got to wait for a little bit more of a mistake out of that 8 machine in front of him. Meanwhile, Josh Duncan is starting to fall into the clutches of car number 54, Chase Bullard. Bullard a little bit loose coming up off of the corner. Had himself a strong run last week before a slide off of turn number 4. Got him bent out of shape. He ended up going a lap down after that. Again, he kept that car straight enough to not bring out the caution flag. We did have a couple of slides last week. Nothing that brought out the yellow flag. Now here comes the 33, Austin Smith, back down to the inside of Chase Bullard. He's going to try to take over 4th, and he does so pretty handily here into turn number 1. Oh, look at this. The 74 tries something up on the outside. Not quite enough to make it happen, but he is really trying to show that 8 that he is there. Take a look at the best laps of the race. Austin Hobart in second place has the fastest. Austin Smith second fastest. Then Steven Hassett, your race leader, followed by Josh Duncan and Chase Bullard. Everybody up in the top 5 is the fastest 5 on the racetrack, but those numbers not quite in order of the running order here. Take a look here at the standings. That's incorrect, so we apologize there. See if I can fix that real quick. Might be a tough ask there as Hobart goes back down to the inside. Josh Duncan trying to close in. Meanwhile, 12 of Cody Brewer has also gone a lap down. Dylan Large is going to want to try to get close to him and try to close in. Get that pass done as Brewer has gone around down on the inside. No caution yet. He's trying to wait for an opportunity to get back up, but that's going to bring the caution out. No caution yet. There it is. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Just in front of your race leaders. Oh, my goodness. Come on, man. Sorry about that. That was not professional. The 64 there got clipped a little bit as the 12 machine of Cody Brewer tried to get back up the racetrack. He's going to come into pit. He's got some damage on this right front. Try to see what happened here. I think this is it. He's running by himself. Yeah, just loses it on entry, spins it down. So that's where he went a lap down. Got a lot of pit stops happening in the second half of the field here. Keep you updated on that. Now he's going to get through 3 and 4. Same deal, just gets in too hot, spins it around, and This one brings the caution out. It was trying to spin the tires enough to just loop it around, and it didn't work. I think when he came back down the track, that's when the caution come out, and then he clips a 64. Tough deal overall there, but we're going to get a restart coming our way. Green flag, back in the air. Stephen Hassett, Austin Hobart, Josh Duncan. So everybody's made pit stops, some just tires, some taking fuel as well. You see the 64 get up into the wall. That's Brad Hubbard once again. Looks like he potentially took 2 tires on that stop, 4 tires for Austin Smith, Daniel Rubino. Smith's got himself a little bit of right front damage as well on that 33. Here comes Hobart looking down to the inside. Chase Bullard down on the apron of the racetrack. He's slow off the pace for right now. Here comes Hobart down to the inside, trying to take away the race lead. This is the best positioning he's had so far. Can he keep it through the middle? He's got speed. Little bit of door banging down the back straightaway. Here comes Hobart, sliding it in on the bottom side. Not quite deep enough for the slide job. Hassett gets loose. Hobart gets loose. Here comes Duncan down to the inside for second. And we've got a new race leader. Austin Hobart trying to go 2 in a row to start the season. 77 laps to go here in South Boston. Austin Hobart trying to drive away. I believe Chase Bullard had to come in and make some sort of pit stop there. That's why we saw him off the pace on the inside. Austin Hobart now leads this race. He's got Josh Duncan behind him. Both of these drivers took, I believe, 2 tires on that pit stop. I don't think they'll have enough to make it to the end. It might be close. I would count on most everybody in the field, if not everybody, having to make one more stop. Is it possible that these drivers that took 4 tires on this pit stop could kind of try to hold on, save their tires a little bit? Given Austin Hobart's last lap being a 15:09, he's not seeing much fall off. 74 looking pretty stout is now Stephen Hassett under fire from Brad Hubbard. Hubbard in the 64 trying to make some hay after a little bit of contact on that last caution. Cody Brewer's had another issue there for a moment. Looks to be good. Hubbard down to the inside of Hassett. These guys racing hard, wheel to wheel. 64 gets a little bit sideways. Going to try to use that apron as much as he can. Hassett gets a little bit of a run up on the outside. Doesn't let the 64 get clear. That is a 64. There's a super tiny 4 right on that 6. Kind of like how you get like the 6Y or the 6K. It's the 6.4. Maybe I should call it the 6.4. What do you guys think? Appreciate everybody who's tuning in live here, hanging out on DRSN, enjoying some short track racing. Austin Hobart's pulled out to about a second over Josh Duncan. Brad Hubbard's moved up into 3rd place. Go ahead and bring up your fastest 5 last laps so we can see who the fastest car on the track is, and surprise, surprise, it's your race leader. Austin Hobart with a 15:20. We're starting to see a little bit of tire fall off. Not much. It's about a 1/10 of a second as we're just past this halfway point in the race. Brad Hubbard really trying to close in here on Duncan, though. I feel like that 6.4 might have something with the 77, but I don't know if anybody's going to have anything for the 74 of Hobart. He's got the face on the front of the car, trying to be the face that runs the place. run it pretty good so far. Josh Duncan back by about 1.2 seconds coming up off of the final corner. Brad Hubbard starting to close in on him. It's not quite as quick as the race leader, but consistently he's faster than that 77. See if Stephen Hassett can try to find a way to keep himself from losing this position. Maybe gather it back up and try to make another fight. And now 2.5 seconds off of the race lead. That's going to be a tough gap to overcome. But if anybody can do it, it's that 8 of Stephen Hassett. He's been so fast. I believe he was last season's champion. Might have to correct me on that. I think when I brought up that last graphic, it said he had 259 points. So I might be wrong. Stephen Hassett, a phenomenal driver here. Also throws together this league, one of the chief stewards, if you want to say. Old buddy of mine like to say chief cook and bottle washer. Meaning the man in the restaurant that just gets everything done. Right now he's starting to pull away from that 33 and starting to close in on that 6.4 in front of him. Taking a look at lap times, he's pretty much on par with what the race leader's doing. Still got a long way to go. 67 laps complete, 58 laps to go. Gain a tenth or so per lap. You've got plenty of time. Not to mention, we've seen a couple of cautions already. First time this season. Who's to say we don't see another one? Got a long way to go, and these guys are going to slip and slide more and more. 5 cars still on the lead lap. All 10 still in the race. Go through the field here. Take a look here. Austin Hobart started in P4. Got as far back, or well, I think he started P3 actually, and that's as far back as he's been. Got up to the front. See a couple of glitches there, which were under caution where he got passed momentarily. Austin Hobart doing a pretty good job here, trying to pick up where he left off. We've got Josh Duncan running P2. Hasn't gotten up to the front yet. Started in 4th place. He's able to pass a couple of them. Doing pretty good here. He's got about 2 seconds between him and the race leader. He's been able to stabilize the gap. Back to Brad Hubbard, who's had a little bit more of an interesting day. He's been as far back as last place. He's also been able to lead a lap under caution flag. Fell all the way back to, fell back to 10th. Slowly been methodically working his way back up. Stephen Hassett started on the pole. He's the first one to be going backwards on the field. Started this race up front, led the first 47 laps. Lost the lead, got up into the wall, lost a couple more, and now he's fighting again with Austin Smith. He's kind of worked his way back up from starting in P7. Sits in 5th, fell back to 6th for a moment. Is now trying to get 4th place back from Stephen Hassett, looking down to his inside here in turns 3 and 4. Looking to make something happen. Daniel Rubino working in the 6th position. Got himself some damage on both sides of it on the front end, it looks like. So that thing's not going to be handling well, and you can tell with how hard he's turning. That thing is really not liking him. He's got some damage to that left front. That thing is all the way pointed to the left. That's not how you want these things to be looking. Ron Malam going to be closing in on him shortly. That's going to be a pass for position. Dylan Large a lap behind Ron, but hoping to... Oh, we've got a caution on the racetrack. Trouble with Austin Smith and Stephen Hassett. The 12 is going to get caught up as well. Caution number 3 happens on lap 81 out of 125. Let's take a look to see what happened from high above. Oh, Smith just got up in there and a little bit of contact. Nate's waiting patiently to get his space in traffic. He's able to get away. Get another look here. These guys start to battle for second just in front. Yeah, I think Smith just didn't anticipate the closing right there. Tried to take a wider entry so he could go in a little bit harder, but a little bit of contact there. Enough to send both cars around. You hate to put words in a driver's mouth, but you almost gotta feel like since both drivers kind of took an L there, there's not a lot of anger towards that incident, you know? We shall see. Lights are off on the pace car. It's Hobart over Duncan, Brad Hubbard, Austin Smith. Ron Malam gets back to the lead lap. Stephen Hassett, a lap down, trying to close back in. Great flag back in the air. It'll be 41 laps to go as Austin Hobart takes over the race lead over Josh Duncan. Gets clear. Third place, Brad Hubbard. Then Ron Malam trying to work the outside here of Austin Smith. Up the racetrack into the marbles goes that 91, and that's going to cost him some time. Here comes Stephen Hassett back down to the inside. He's trying to catch up to Daniel Rubino just in front of him, so he can be the free pass if another caution comes out. He knows he's got a quick car. He knows he needs a caution to happen soon if he wants another chance at catching up to that 74. Let's be real. If there's going to be a caution, it's going to happen with side-by-side action. Chase Bullard and the 12 of Cody Brewer, the only one side-by-side at the moment. Brewer goes up the racetrack. Currently sitting about 4 laps down after an earlier incident. I can't really imagine he's going to get up into anybody's way, but statistically, cars are more likely to crash when they're side-by-side versus when they're not. Brad Hubbard takes over second place. Pretty commanding move over Josh Duncan. Gonna see if he can close in on your race leader. And let's take a look. Take a look at that pass. Coming up off of turn 4, 77. Just gives him enough space on the bottom. Slides up the racetrack. Gets up into the marbles. He got the wall. Got the wall pretty good. Garage beer machine. Probably going to need a garage beer or two while they pull out the fenders. Stephen Hassett able to get down to the inside of Jan Rubino. This is a very important pass for the free pass position. Rubino gets up into the wall, so now, should the caution come out, the 08 is going to get back on the lead lap, unless 91 of Malam goes a lap down. Not a lot of time left, though. 33 laps to go here in South Boston. Brad Hubbard trying to close in. Last time by, he was half a tenth quicker. You can ask Chris Murphy. He's our chief cook and bottle washer here at DRSN. How much I love this last lap graphic. Actually, you know, I say that. He would tell me, don't look at that. Look at this. Austin Hobart, Brad Hubbard. Got a little graphic down here on the bottom saying roughly how much time it's going to take for that second place car to catch up to the first place car. Right now it's saying it's about 12 to 15 laps away. Looks like it also tries to put a time limit to it, or a rough guesstimate on time. So maybe in 2.5 minutes, we'll be looking at a new race leader in Brad Hubbard. The math, this is Formula One style math on a short track Thursday night. I was about to say Saturday night. Short track Thursday night. We've got ourselves a battle for the race lead. It's about 1/2 second to 0.6 of a second. Brad Hubbard really closed in that time. He was about 1/10 quicker in that one corner. Last time by 15:29 or 15:34 for the leader, 15:26 for second place. That's closing in even more. You can even see the last 5 laps run here. We've got 25 to go, 24. You can see the lap differentials every single time. Brad Hubbard has been quicker, the only exception being lap 98, where they ran even lap times. Brad Hubbard in that number 6.4 cornflakes looking sim wraps machine. Let's go ahead and make sure we got stagger. I think that's stagger or stagger. And Tier 1 setup shop on that machine. Looking pretty good as he tries to close in on the race lead. 22 laps to go. Does he have enough time? He's closed it into about 1/3 of a second. Now 1/4 of a second coming up off of the corner. Trying to find a little bit of extra bite. That 74 has been phenomenal at keeping it down on the bottom coming up off of turn number 4. But off of turn 2, it looks like that 6.4 machine is absolutely on rails. Based on our graphic, it's saying it's 8 laps away. But when we're short track racing, that doesn't account for a bump. That doesn't account for anything that we might see here at the end. Josh Duncan still sits in 3rd place. He's about 4 seconds off of the race lead. Brad Hubbard trying to come in clutch at the end, similar to how Austin Hobart did last week. Hobart was not the dominant driver. Stephen Hassett was. Hassett led the first 68 laps before he got passed right before pit stops. Hobart never really looked back. Right now, Brad Hubbard is looking straight for... Oh, and around goes Brad Hubbard! Caution's going to come out with 16 laps to go. The second place driver spins it. And this changes everything. Just a little bit too low there. And yeah, the caution had to come out. He's sitting sideways, driver's side door, directly in traffic. A lot of guys got potential to get damaged there. So, good on whether that was iRacing or the league to bring out the caution. Looks like we're seeing a black flag out of Stephen Hassett. Not sure if that's going to prevent him from getting the free pass. Austin Hobart. He's got to feel a mixed bag of emotions right now. On the one hand, your closest competition that's been chasing you down for the last 40 laps has now got a couple more cars to get through and a severely heated up set of tires. On the other hand, you've got another restart to deal with. While you've been perfect on them so far, you just never know what's going to happen here with less than 15 laps to go at the short track in South Boston, Virginia. Kind of catch-22 if you're that 74 leading the race. Josh Duncan going to be ready to try to take advantage of whatever he can. Brad Hubbard looks like he's going to be able to stay in 3rd place potentially. Stephen Hassett did get the free pass. The black flag is the EOL to serve after getting the free pass. You got to start at the tail end of the longest line. Now here we go. Ready to rock and rumble for what could be the final restart. 11 laps to go. Austin Hobart looking to start this season off 2 for 2. Josh Duncan looking to play spoiler. Brad Hubbard was fast. Did he kill those tires with that spin? Green flag back in the air. Hubbard able to get to the inside of Josh Duncan for second. Can he keep that car underneath him? Cody Brewer had another quick problem there. Brad Hubbard trying to slide up in front of car 77. Josh Duncan fights hard up on the outside, gets up into the wall, and now here comes Austin Smith looking for a podium spot. Down on the inside, 10 laps to go, coming to 9 laps to go. Hubbard gets into second, Duncan gets into the wall, and Austin Smith gets into third place. But for how long? Duncan fights hard up on the outside. This time, he is super strong in turns 1 and 2, able to nose out to about half a car length off of the corner. Still strong as he's now starting to pinch that 33 down, not allow him to use all the racetrack that he wants. 8 laps to go, and it's half a second between first and second place. Can Brad Hubbard start to close back in like he was at the end of that last run, or is it going to be too little too late here with 7 laps to go? Half a second. A little bit quicker there for Hubbard coming up off of turn number 2. That 74 is just so strong on corner entry. 6 to go this time by 0.4 of a second. Duncan trying to keep Smith back behind him for third place. Ron Milan back in 5th. Stephen Hassett trying to get one more spot. Make this a close points battle as we continue to move forward. Brad Hubbard closing in here with 4 laps to go. Is there going to be enough time? Austin Smith has gone around down the front straightaway, and the caution comes out. Caution number 5 here at the Speedway. This is going to bring us to overtime, isn't it? Take a look to see what happened here with Austin Smith. Oh, just sideways. He got into the inside wall pretty good. So we will have 2 attempts at a green-white checker finish here. Austin Hobart leads over Brad Hubbard, Josh Duncan, and Ron Milam. Stephen Hassett and Austin Smith have come into the pits. Stephen Hassett just tried a last-ditch effort. Try to go from 5th to 1st on a green-white checker. Fresh tires is probably going to be his best bet to do that. He's going to need a lot of help to make that happen. Austin Hobart, he's got that 6'4". Brad Hubbard to his outside. Hubbard's been hungry. And he's been just a hair quicker. Lights are off on the pace car. We're going to have 2 laps to decide it. It's about 2/3 of a mile to get her done. Austin Hobart going to race from the lead. Brad Hubbard going to race from the outside of the front row. Josh Duncan in 3rd, going to see if he can maybe catch these guys snoozing or battling and steal one from them. Pace car's going to make that hard left turn. We've got 2 attempts to go 2 laps. Green flag is in the air. Phenomenal start from the inside lane. Here comes the 77. He's going to make contact. Around goes Brad Hubbard. The caution's going to come out. Oh, man. That's a wrecked race car there on the inside. Car number 6'4". You can see that left toe. Oh, he's going to hit the wall. He couldn't make it to the pits. Well, we're going to have a couple different opinions on that, and I think the best way to take a look is from the top. Yeah, 77. He has no obligation to get down to the yellow line, but he definitely was not on the yellow line when he made the contact there. I wonder if maybe the 6'4" was trying to figure out if he was clear or not. It didn't look like the 6'4" tried to clear himself in that situation. I don't want to pin that on the 77 because there was nothing egregious there. It just looks like he maybe missed his mark and was half a lane up off the bottom when the 6 potentially didn't expect him to be. So, yeah, that's a really tough deal there for everybody involved. But you know, it's kind of tough to place fault. I mean, I think Ray Evernham said on Door Bumper Clear, it's the trailing car. If you hit the car, it's your fault. Who am I to argue with Ray Evernham? So don't come at me, Josh. Come at Ray Evernham. Got a restart coming our way. Austin Hobart, Ron Malam, Josh Duncan, Stephen Hassett, Brad Hubbard, Chase Bullard. All on the lead lap with a chance to win. This is our last attempt at a green-white checker. Pace car is going to make that hard left turn once again. Green flag in the air. Super strong restart from the front once again. Up the racetrack goes car number 91. And here comes Brad Hubbard down to the bottom. Almost a little bit of contact with 3 wide. And around goes the 77. Big trouble. Up in the air goes the 6'4" of Brad Hubbard. The caution is out. The race is over. Austin Hobart's going to go 2 for 2. Chase Bullard should be in second place. I believe Stephen Hassett's going to come home in third. Big trouble on the back straightaway. And Austin Hobart going to come home with the win. As you guys can tell, my voice is starting to run out. A little bit more voice cracks. Super exciting action here at South Boston. And Austin Hobart gets the job done 2 in a row for car number 74. Gonna stay behind the pace car before he goes to the front straightaway to burn it down. Take another look at that caution that ended the race in just a few moments here. And I believe the results after the crash goes Austin Hobart, Stephen Hassett, and Chase Bullard. Austin Hobart, burn it down. Phenomenal stuff here in South Boston. Victory Lane Outlaws Cars Series always puts on a great show, and we are so glad to bring it to you here on DRSN. Go ahead and take a look at our results as we wait for everybody to get up into the booth. Let's drop that one, though. There we are. South Boston Speedway, 0.37 miles. We went 133 laps. Somehow that was just under 50 miles. Saw 2 different leaders, 1 green flag lead change. Austin Hobart took that one away in pretty commanding fashion. 7 cautions for 24 total laps. Ron Malam was your biggest gainer, gaining 5. Austin Hobart, your race winner, led the most laps and had the fastest race lap today. Fastest lap in qualifying went to Stephen Hassett, who was on pole. 86 laps led for your race winner, Austin Hobart. Second place, Stephen Hassett. Chase Bullard going to come home in the final podium spot. We've got Brad Hubbard, Ron Malam, Josh Duncan, Austin Smith, Dylan Large, Cody Brewer, and Daniel Rubino. Rounding out your top 10. You're rounding out your whole field, basically. Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and bring in our race winner. Austin, it's Liam up in the booth. You got a copy?
I sure do.
I'm pretty sure I got your audio right this time right away, so
Got me.
rocking and rolling, man. 2 in a row. How does it feel to start the season off with 2 consecutive victories?
It feels great. Huge chaos behind me. Last 2 green-white checkered, so thankful to be ahead of all that and being able to stay out front most of the night.
Yeah, talk us through that battle that you had with Steven, because once again, just like last week, it looked like he fired off really good, but you were able to keep the pressure on him until it was time. When did you know it was time to make that move, and what does it take to just stay on someone like that?
I don't know if there's even ever a good time to make a move, considering we got to pit sometime in one of these, but it's just, I don't know if I'm not confident at the start of the races or something, but I've always end up being the chaser car. So one of these times I'll qualify up front, get out front to a lead early, but
Well,
making the move, I don't know. He didn't take right side tires in the first yellow, which screwed him. Sent him to the back where all the chaos is, and then I managed to stay out front.
yeah, you didn't have to trail for very long in comparison to last week. You led the most laps this week with 86.
Really?
What's it like to keep that nose so clean, man?
I
I mean, you got these short tracks. Calamity behind you, and you kept your nose clean.
Crazy calamity. 3, what was it? 4 yellows? 5 yellows?
Total of 7,
Oh, it's
including
crazy.
that last one at the end.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know. What was it last week? None. So it's, yeah, depending on the track. I don't know. We got to keep our eyes peeled for the upcoming weeks then.
Awesome stuff, man. Next week, we move to Lanier. What do you think you got for us there? You got 3 in a row to start the season? Are we looking at a Tyler Reddick type of start, or what?
I don't know. I don't have much experience in these yet, but hopefully I have some speed there. I know it's a pretty popular track, so we'll see where we line up next week.
Awesome stuff, man. Congrats on the win, and we'll be talking to you again soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, we'll go ahead and bring in second place Stephen Hassett. Stephen, it's Liam up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah.
Well, you started on pole, and then you found yourself in a little bit of trouble. Able to recover from that, and then you found yourself in the middle of a lot more trouble that you got through to second place. I know that's a very basic summary of your race, but what was it like out there? How does it feel to finish second through everything that you had to go through?
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. I screwed up when we pit and didn't take tires, so I was on old tires on the restart. Austin and they all took tires behind me, so I knew that was going to be a struggle. And started getting really loose there towards the end, and unfortunately, the 33 got into me, spun me out. But in a way, it also kind of helped. Gave me a chance to go down and get tires. Going the lap down, I knew that was going to happen. There seemed like needed a couple cars to get by me, and just took too long. And at that point, I said, might as well just put on all 4 and let it rip and see what I could do from there, and hopefully get another couple cautions. One to get the lucky dog, and then one to come back, and we did. And then the green white checkers, I think it's just a mix of old tires, the new update, when you go out onto the rubber, it's a lot more deadly than it ever used to be. So I don't know if that's kind of what happened with the 91 on that last restart, was he kind of got wide, and then it looked like he just kind of coming down the straightaway got bounced off the wall into the 77's right rear, and then all heck broke loose.
Now, you made a good point there with talking about the rubber being worse here. We noticed a lot of marbles all over the racetrack. How detrimental was it to get up out of the groove and into those marbles?
I mean, recently I've been seeing like I'm trying to think. It was last week in another league at Langley. I was getting lapped or something like that, and I went up to the marbles, and there's definitely something new with them where it's slick. I mean, it immediately when I got on throttle there, it wanted to turn the car, and I'm sure it was the same here. I know we didn't run down to the apron near as much, so well, a lot of times you'll see us kind of cutting the apron, and that'll clear that up. But I mean, even that was kind of rubbered up with marbles and made it very one laned, very tight two lane if you're gonna do it. But I mean, ultimately that's all part of it.
Well, next week we move on to Lanier. You've come home second both races this season. What do you think it's going to take to get that extra position?
Not make a mistake. I mean, that's been the name of the game. Austin's been running good. It's nice to have have a group that's running tight near the front for the most part. He doesn't make a mistake, and he waits for you to make the mistake. And even when we're sitting there just kind of riding, I mean, he's right there. So it's just gonna take a little bit of luck, and hopefully we get things to fall our way, and find myself back in Victor Lane.
Awesome stuff, man. Who do you want to thank for such a strong run here in South Boston?
Obviously the VLO guys. I mean, we got 10 cars out this week, so hopefully we continue to see that car count increase. Seems to, I know we had a few more that had some issues that couldn't get in. Tier 1 setup shop, we've been kind of getting after it on the short track side, getting into the supers and running competitive with them. Vice Esports, you guys for broadcasting this. So I'm just a total conglomeration of everybody coming together and putting on a show.
Awesome stuff, man. Congratulations on the podium. We'll be talking to you again next week, I'm sure.
Yep, hopefully from the number one spot.
Yes, sir. Have a good night.
Yep.
All right, now we bring in third place Chase Bullard. Chase, car number 54, didn't necessarily have the easiest day, but you're able to overcome adversity. What would you say was the toughest part about your day?
We had a pretty decent start to the race. I was running top 5, and then that caution came out, and I went to the back. I don't remember why I went to the back, but I ended up having to go to the end of the field, and on that restart, this car hit the wall, and I ran up into him and hit the infield wall. I had a pit. I went 2 laps down after that pit. So I pretty much just cruised for the whole race, and then got lucky for two more cautions, got my laps back, and actually the last caution or that last green white checkered, I finally got on the lead lap, started dead last on that last restart, and ended up finishing third somehow.
We just took a look at that, and it really did seem like the seas parted for you out of 2, getting into 3. You were able to hug that bottom and kind of drive under that 6.4 machine. What what runs through your mind on a last lap like that when you see that sort of chaos in front of you? Do you have time to react, or is it all just kind of muscle memory doing its thing?
Uh, I'll be honest with you, I don't like them them green white checkers, especially starting from back there. You kind of gotta be patient because some like how it turned out here, cars flying in the air. You just gotta kind of watch yourself. But if you're up and towards the front, I would just floor it. Kind of just wheel and deal it,
Just like SpongeBob.
something like that.
Well, awesome stuff, man. You take that 54 to third place here. Next week, we move on to Lanier. What do you think you got for us?
I don't, man, I don't know. I haven't been to Lanier in a while. Oh wait, yeah, I don't remember Lanier. But yeah, I want to thank sponsors, car, family, uh, you and the broadcast, and the owners of the league for putting it on and all that.
Well, awesome stuff, man. Well, you beat me to the sponsors. Any other shout outs you got while we still got you?
Budweiser, I love the old Bud car that I made. Pretty sick. And That should be it. And yeah, should be good.
It's a pretty good looking car you got there. I like the red you got on it, the metallic.
Appreciate it.
Well, awesome stuff, man. We'll see you next week at Lanier. Thanks for talking with us.
Thank you.
All right. Well, that's going to about do it for us here on DRSN. Phenomenal racing here at South Boston. A little bit more chaotic than we saw last week, but that's what short track racing is all about. We're beating doors, touching fenders, and every once in a while, somebody's going to spin it around. Can't thank you guys enough for tuning in here live on the DRSN YouTube channel. It's been amazing. And as always, do it for Dale, be like Biff, and always keep it rowdy. As you guys walk through the streets of life, please don't play in traffic. Have a good night, folks.